So often do we hear about maritime disasters like the sinking of the Titanic, but rarely do we hear about the tales of the ships involved in the cleanup afterwards. An example of this would be the subject of today's video, the cable ship turned morgue, Mackay, Bennet.
Do you recognise one of the grandest ships that ever carried the British flag?
Georgic is the first big ship to be launched from a British shipyard.
She had a wonderful war record, sinking 2 enemy submarines and carrying thousands of troops in safety. They called her the Old Reliable.
In the late 19th century, the American commercial cable company was in need of a new cable-laying ship, leading them to order a new ship to be called the Mackay Bennet, named after the company founders. Little did they know that one day this ship would be involved in one of the most infamous disasters in maritime history. The Mackay Bennet was to be constructed by John Elder and Company's Fairfield Yard. She was one of the first ships of the American commercial cable company to be built out of steel instead of iron. She had a deep hull as well to accommodate the cable that she would lay. Not only this, but she also had 2 rudders to help her manoeuvre, something that would no doubt come in use in her field of work. Her construction process would be uneventful, and she was launched by September of 1884 and was completed shortly after, ready to begin her career. The Mackay Bennet was based in Halifax, Nova Scotia, where she would often maintain, repair or lay new cables. However, this wouldn't go without event, as in February of 1912 the Mackay Bennet would save the crew of a wrecked schooner called the Caledonia. But little did the crew know that this wouldn't be the last shipwreck they'd be involved in. On the 14th of April 1912, the White Star Line's RMS Titanic would collide with an iceberg and sink, taking 1,500 souls with her. This meant that the bodies would need to be recovered. This would mean that they'd need a ship. This would lead to the requisitioning of the Mackay Bennet to recover the victims of the tragedy, most likely due to the ship's second rudder making it easier to avoid meeting the same fate as the Titanic. From the 20th of April to the 27th of April she would carry out this grim task, during which her crew would realise that they hadn't brought enough coffins, leading the Mackay Bennet to take some canvas of the SS Sardinian, who was sailing through the area, to turn it into body bags. The Mackay Bennet would return to Halifax to unload her grim cargo. For a more detailed documentary on the recovery effort, check out Part-Time Explorer's new video. The Mackay Bennet would continue serving her purpose as a cable ship until May of 1922, when she was taken to Plymouth to become a storage hulk. She would serve in this role without event until World War II, when she would end up getting bombed by the Germans, leading her to sink. She would later be raised and scrapped in 1965, bringing an end to the Titanic's morgue.